And we are live. I said, that's a hot mic.
It's green.
Hello.
That means go.
I see y'all. It is May the 2nd, and this is Todd Farber, Aggie horticulturist, Sugarland's #1 residential landscaper with a crooked hat. And welcome in tonight. I have some questions that I have received via Facebook that I will answer. I've got a plant of the week that we recommend, a Texas superstar. Got a makeover to show you. And just generally saying, hey,
welcome in. If I look kind of tired, I am.
That's because he's very tired.
We're in the thick of it right now, folks.
Yeah. And an announcement at the beginning. We are going to do this 2 times a month now. We've been doing it consistently every week for some time. We're going to go ahead and go to 2 times a month, and I will announce it on Facebook. So all of y'all that follow us, it'll be easy for you to see. We're going to probably do it every other week is what I'm looking at. And then during the summer, it'll give us, because we have some vacations and things planned with our kiddos. So anyway, every other week. And then when that changes, you'll see me announce it everywhere. It'll be easy for you. But I'll still be fielding questions from you all on Facebook. Your gardening questions, your landscaping questions, whatever you need. We're here for you.
Garden guy's here.
We're here for you. Okay, show them the side of your hat. Garden guy. Anyway, I got him that hat.
I'm styling tonight.
He's stylish.
I don't know
So,
crooked.
why is it crooked?
I don't know.
Look crooked. Oh, you know what? The elk is off center.
Oh.
You're good. This is the center.
Oh.
You're good.
Okay. Little costume.
It's real here. It's real as it gets. Okay, so
we don't have an actual green room before the production starts.
No, we like play a little music and we're sitting here. All right, so I'm gonna do like an icebreaker like I did last week because that seemed to work well. I had a cute dog last week, but I couldn't find a cute dog in the garden this week. But didn't you love the little Westie that rolled in the grass? I thought he was super cute. So this week I'm gonna ask y'all if you can help identify this plant. I think you can see it pretty well, even though I'm just holding the picture. So I'm gonna move it a little closer. Help us to identify, or you can type in the comments what you think this plant is.
I know what it is. Ooh, call me.
No, I'm not calling on you.
Oh, man.
Oh, my goodness. Ooh, my nail polish matches the top one. I love that. Okay, so let me see if y'all commented, if you know what it is. Let's see. Donna French, good evening, good evening. Hey, Mike, good to see you. Hey, Carol, too. We got a lot of people tonight. Hey, Joni. Hey, Kathy, I got your question. I know, wasn't he cute, Donna? Aw, he was all green.
I wonder how long it took him to wash him.
Right, I was wondering how long it took him to wash him. Oh, frog fruit. Frog, I'm assuming you mean frog fruit. Nope, not frog fruit. Carol, you didn't win. I can do that to Carol. Kathy Adams, already the client of the year.
Yes.
And now here she goes again.
The winner of the picture.
Now she's the winner of nothing. You win nothing. But yes, ding, 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 ding. You can tell I'm a singer. You're the winner. It is Yarrow, or Yarrow. I guess you'd say Yarrow. And I have a little snippet, and I didn't take Latin, so this will be fun. Achillea millefolium.
Achillea.
Okay. Commonly known as yarrow or common yarrow is a flowering plant, obviously, in the family
Asteraceae.
Yeah, Asteraceae.
I took Latin.
Yes, you did. You're a horticulturist.
Yes.
Other common names include, I like these common names, old man's pepper, devil's nettle, sanguinary milfoil. I'm sure everyone runs around saying that one. Soldier's woundwort. Now that's an interesting one. Soldier's woundwort and thousand seal. Numerous tribes in North America used yarrow for a variety of ailments. The crushed plant was applied to wounds and burns. The dried leaves were used as tea to soothe colds, fever, and headache. I like knowing the herbal qualities of plants. I think it's fascinating. I mean, I would rather use some sort of medicinal, if I could, like some sort of plant or something.
They've been around for hundreds of years.
Right? I think it's fat. And I have read into it before, and you can make teas. And I don't know if any of y'all want to comment on it. I think it's fascinating and I like it. Yarrow, if you want to plant it in your garden, performs best in well-drained soil. It likes hot, dry conditions, so it would like to live here. It will not tolerate constantly wet soil, so don't overwater it. Yarrow can be grown in clay soil as long as it's not saturated all the time. So it likes the dry. Mostly you see it wild, right? Mostly you see yarrow wild, and I know butterflies love it.
Oh, they love it. So my introduction to yarrow was over 35 years ago with Dr. William Welch.
Oh, Bill Welch.
Of the Texas Horticultural Extension Service, who actually got me interested in antique roses and perennial. And back in my days at A&M when I was running the greenhouse, he would allow me to come over his beautiful perennial gardens and divide and conquer, as he said, but leave me some, his perennials. And this was one of the ones that was growing very prolifically, and it was easy to divide and transplant, and we grew it in our greenhouse, and then we sold it with our monthly plant sales. So
where would I get yarrow, Garden Guy, if I wanted to buy it?
At the nurseries, we usually talk about. Home Depot and Lowe's don't usually carry that. It's not something they would probably order in. You might find occasionally. And if you notice the picture, the more vibrant color one is the hybridized one, and the pink and whitish one is the native yarrow color.
Let me show it again. So the top one is
hybridized.
And the bottom one is more like you'd see in a field or something. Yeah, I've seen that one, definitely. Yeah. So that's yarrow. I like it. And it's probably easy to grow. Most people would say it was probably like a weed, huh?
It is. You need to give it some space in the garden because it will spread underneath from rhizomes, tubers, however you want to.
Oh, so it's not a seed?
Huh?
It's not a seed?
Well, it produces seed, but it travels underground. And so if you dig up a root patch of it, it's very fibrous and tubers. Anyway, leave it some space, and if it does well in your garden, you'll find it in more places in your garden next year because it will reseed and go again. Very hardy.
It's more than you ever needed or wanted to know.
Thanks, Dr. Welch.
And thanks, Dr. Welch. And thanks, Kathy Adams, for winning again. I'm going to get Kathy Adams a crown. Oh, Donna French says, I thought it was a weed. Well, you know what? I think it looks kind of like a weed. And what's the quote? I don't know what it's like. A flower is just, or a weed is just a flower in the wrong place.
It's out of place.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's
correct.
True. You taught me that. That's true. That's true. All right, I have another question I'm going to show y'all. This comes from Client of the Year, Kathy Adams. I hope y'all can see this, my cheese ball way of showing you stuff. This is a question she said for our live. This is her butterfly weed plant, and here is what is on it. Can y'all see on the stem, the little yellow, they look like little bugs.
They are bugs.
They are bugs. Hold on, before you answer what it is for her, I can do better with the picture. Here. There y'all go. Now you can see. Does anyone besides Todd know what little bug is on Kathy Adams' butterfly weed? Y'all can type in. Don't.
I'm
not self-control. Let's see if anybody says anything. Nobody. All right. We'll tell y'all. Wait, I'll give it another second. No. Okay, that's cool. Tell us.
She has aphids on her butterfly weed.
Aphids. Those little yellow are not desirable. So what will they do?
Well, the plant will self-correct if she just leaves it alone. But if she wants to spray something on it, because I know a lot of people just like to spray, I would use Safer Soap. Available at your local
I'm
big box
texting you
store.
right now. Safer Soap.
It'll suffocate them and eradicate.
I just texted her live.
Live.
That's great customer service, guys. Okay, so aphids, Safer Soap. There you go. Now you know. And okay, I have other questions, so y'all hang in there. Here they are. So that was yarrow. I like talking about that. That's pretty. I bet we saw a lot of that in Kansas when we went.
Yeah.
And we saw the hills and the fields and the beautiful. And my son is texting us. Okay. Denise Reeves from Facebook. I'm curious about, this is a palm tree question, guys. So if you want to know about a good palm tree, Todd's got the answer. Curious about which palm trees do well in the Pearland area and also which ones tolerate the occasional freezes that we have. She said bonus points if the palm stays under 20 feet or less. So what do you say to that?
So I'm no palm expert, but one that I do like and recommend that gets about 8 to 9 feet tall total, but it's going to take a while to get there. It's a Mediterranean fan palm. It tolerates our freezes well. I haven't seen any that perish through the 2 hard freezes we had in the last 3 years. And usually they're multi-trunk when you buy them at the nursery, but they are slow growing. So it's not your typical upright palm tree that your neighbor's going to get to enjoy because the trunk is so tall that you can't enjoy it from your own poolside.
Right. I sure love that answer. Mediterranean fan palm.
Mediterranean fan palm. And I'm sure there's others that fit that, but we don't specialize in palms, and you would have to look up what does well in this area. And then there's a couple palm tree places actually around town that specialize in.
I was thinking Verdant, Verdandt, I believe. Verdant Tree Farm. They have it. Oh my goodness. And they have these trucks with booms on them that carry in the. So that's, I mean, if you want another opinion or those folks.
But if they're bringing a truck with a boom, it don't fit your requirement because it's going to get over 20 feet tall.
I think that what Todd is saying is probably good for the home landscaper. But if you're really into palm trees and you want to know more, then Todd's obviously humble enough to tell you that we don't know everything about them. All right, next question. Thank you all for joining us tonight. This is Todd Farber, Aggie horticulturist, Sugarland's #1 residential landscaper, and the love of my life.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Sure, no problem.
You know what really gets me during the day?
What really gets you? Is it something that we should share?
Bad drivers.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure everyone can comment on that.
But anyway, just
bad drivers.
And my wife informed me as a regular driver behind contractor drivers that most people would not want to be behind a loaded down trailer. And I said, you know what? You're probably right. Because most people don't tie down their load. So all that being said, if a truck and trailer is in front of you and they have a blinker that works,
let them over.
You might want to let them over instead of speeding past them. And then as soon as you pass them, you put your blinker on so somebody will let you into the next lane.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you.
Thank you for your support. So we had I thought this was funny. You just brought that up. Can y'all see this? It says, I'm from Houston, Texas, so you can either let me merge or we can call Jim Adler the Texas Hammer. And I thought that was great. Anyway, be nice to one another, folks. But all of our people that come to our live are nice, and they're already letting people over and merge, etc., etc. All right. Now we are going to a really big question from a very kind man named Brooks Yandel, or Yandel, not sure which.
Are you reading that?
I will read it.
Okay.
This is a long question, but it's a good one. Now, Brooks is an excellent gardener and an expert gardener, I would say, in my opinion. He knows a lot and he does a lot. He has a veggie garden question. Here it goes, guys. I topped off one of my raised beds about 6 inches and filled a new raised bed with 2 parts rose soil, 1 part organic compost. I did not add any amendments or fertilizer as I figured it would be good enough to go. The only thing that did well from the first planting was my bush beans. I ended up restarting a bunch of stuff, cukes, squash, peppers, and I've been keeping them okay with heavy liquid feed regimen. Everything in the new bed is still showing nitrogen deficiency. Yeah. I've been fertilizing heavy, but as directed. I've side dressed with compost. I feel like I've done everything I can do. And then he says, also, I put down a 14-14-14 slow release a couple of weeks ago. And he also did a 6-4-4. So he's trying everything. Things are not doing well. And so Todd and I talked about this. He read through it at Brooks, and Todd is going to do his best to help you.
I think if you haven't used the supplier's compost and rose soil before, it may be a little bit too hot to start with, which means their blended amendments in there is just not suitable and ready for plants just yet, depending on who's mixing it with the big loader at the yard. And sometimes a soil or compost that's brought in just has to rest for a little while before it's planted.
So explain to people like me, what does it mean if someone says the soil is too hot? It doesn't literally mean, guys, that it's hot to the touch. What does that actually mean?
It means the components in there are basically too rich for the plants or seedlings. And there's a number of symptoms that it can cause. But back to his particular question.
Right.
I think you're good in what you've done. What I was telling Sabrina is you might want to do an experiment and go to Lowe's or Home Depot and get 3 or 4 different varieties of 4-inch plants from Bonnie's, because that's who they have. They bring in and just Don't add anything else. Water regularly, but don't overwater, and see how they do. And then if you still are seeing the same symptoms that you've described, then it's probably a soil compost combination issue. And then if you want to further that, still not adding anything else because you've added everything under the sun, and another month letting the soil rest, because you can get transplants pretty much all season long.
So you're saying just slow down on it, maybe let it rust and just let it calm. Maybe it's like you said, it's too hot. And then I also read sometimes people overwater, and that can cause
that could be too.
But I don't actually know, Brooks. I just
read. And I don't know your sun situation either. If these are in full sun or they're getting partial shade, that doesn't sound like it's your issue, but it sounds like a whole lot of things combined. And
hope that helps you.
Yeah,
that was the best.
Without seeing your garden area and taking a soil sample,
right,
based on just what you've described. And every time that, I guess the easiest way to say it, if you see something going on in your garden, like her, she wants to run out to the store and just buy something and fix it right away. Sometimes plants will self-correct in the garden.
If you leave them alone.
If you leave them alone.
If you leave them alone.
So anyway, just be patient. Maybe try that experiment with some other varieties that
actually grown, like little sets that you can put
in. The 6-inch or the 4-inch already started, and then that way they're not struggling as seedlings to try to come up.
Well, I'll say this, we've done garden, and so I mean, just being honest, we've done vegetable gardens where we had no luck. I mean, and he's the garden guy, so I mean, I can't explain that. But this is at our country property, so we're not on it every single day. So we're just like, whatever, we move on.
Check the dates of your seeds. Yeah. I mean, I don't know if you have old seeds or they're brand new, or sometimes you get a bad batch. I don't know. There's so many different variation combinations of things that gardening is what it is. It's a crapshoot. Why some years
that's true.
You just have and you do exactly everything the same. You're the type of person that watered exactly the same amount based on the amount of rain. You got 40 bushels of tomatoes one year.
It's true. One year we had baskets.
Literally every week I was giving it away to clients. We couldn't pick enough.
Yeah. So, and then another year we don't get any, or some infestation of some biblical proportions comes. So
we've had that too.
Yeah. So it does happen to the best of gardeners, Brooks, is what we're saying.
Be persistent and consistent.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Do both. And I always appreciate your questions. And honestly, I mean, I'm just proud of you. It sounds like you're doing great. And it is very frustrating when you feel like you've done everything and you can't figure it out. So I hope that we helped you. I really do. Yeah, start in the fall for spring planting. Absolutely. And Donna says hibiscus. I like pulling them out before they have a chance. All right, so I'm going to go to my last question that I have before I do our makeovers and stuff. It is from our friend Carol Andrews.
Hey, Carol.
Are you still on here? She probably is. Oh, wait. I have to see what Kathy says. They're on my new flower. Oh, yeah. You're welcome, Kathy. Food about drivers, right? Okay, so...
well, one thing about the...
we're just
Asclepias, which is the milkweed, which is
what we... talking to Kathy Adams?
Kathy Adams.
Kathy Adams.
For those of y'all who don't know, it's the preferred food for the monarch butterfly.
Oh, they like to eat it.
They will lay their egg on that particular plant. The caterpillars will hatch.
Oh, and they eat it.
They eat and will defoliate the complete plant of the milkweed.
So did you leave them on there?
Yes. So I guess what I'm saying is, so you're going to go through phases with that plant, whether you have aphids or not, and people don't understand sometimes. They look out and they think that an insect, which basically a caterpillar has completely defoliated. But the thing about it is, guys, before they go into their cocoon stage, metamorphosis stage, they'll defoliate all of your butterfly weed in the garden. It'll come right back. But
Stop everything.
The flowers will remain.
I'm confused.
Yes. Miss Monarch. I like to see them every day.
Monarch's my favorite.
All right.
Are you saying that we should leave the aphids on there or get rid of them? Because I feel like you're double talking me, and I don't like that.
Well, we don't know what stage or if monarchs are visited yet. So if she sprays safer because it's not a non-selective, it'll probably kill the little eggs from the monarch too.
So you're saying,
Don't spray it and leave the aphids.
oh my gosh, now I'm going to have to text you again. So don't do it.
But if you want to and not see the aphids, then spray. Because it's a host plant. Maybe we should.
I'm texting her. Don't spray them. Don't spray. Oh, don't. And then you said, what? Because they'll be fine and it won't do anything to the plant?
Yeah, they're unsightly, but they're not going to kill the plant.
Oh my goodness.
Well, we get to all the roots and everything in this show.
All right. So there you have it. I'm not sure what you have, but you have it. It's yours.
Milkweed is a host plant for the monarch butterfly.
Yes, I know that, but we're worried about aphids.
Well, I know, but
do you know what this advice is worth? Exactly what you paid for it. There.
2 cents.
Nothing. They paid nothing for it. All right, so you can spray it with safer soap or not.
There's Carol.
How about that? Oh, Carol. That's true. Wasps will eat the aphids on the milkweed. All right, Carol. All right, I'm going to tell everybody your question. Carol says, my lawn is so full of weeds. How can I encourage the St. Augustine to overtake the weeds? It's a losing battle right now. So this is a lawn question.
So I would, not having seen your lawn in a while, but knowing your yard, I would probably selectively spray a broadleaf weed killer with a pump-up sprayer and try to control what you can see. And then the best defense against weeds in your St. Augustine lawn is for the St. Augustine to be the prolific and
that's what she was saying, to take it over. So spot spray the weeds and then fertilize.
Yeah, if she hasn't done so, yeah.
So spot spray the weeds and then fertilize it to make it healthier.
And your spot spraying will usually show results within 3 to 5 days. You'll start seeing some wilting and yellowing of the weeds. And then once that starts to happen, because you don't want to encourage the growth of weeds with fertilizer, then you can go ahead and fertilize and start that regimen. And I'm assuming you got your sprinkler all up and running now, and so it water regularly.
There you go, Carol. That's your answer. And you'll have to decide what kind of fertilizer you want, because there's thousands of them out there. Thousands. Microlife's good. We use that one. And that lawn spray one is good too. All right, everyone. There's quite a few of y'all watching. Let me see. It's another story, she said. It's another story about that. That's right. So I'm going to hop on over here, guys. And I'm going to show you the plant that we're featuring this week. And I did post it on Instagram and Facebook. If you've already seen it, fine, but here it goes. And we're back. What do you, this bush or plant has a lot of names. What do you call it?
I like to tell my clients, would you like camellia patens in your lawn, in your garden?
You do not. What is that what you say?
No.
I'm asking you, why are you being so divisive tonight?
Butterfly bush.
Butterfly, oh, that was nicer. I liked it. I'm
not being divisive, I'm just being honest with my my knowledge of Latin.
Divisive. Oh, not divisive. Oh, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I'm just tired. Okay. What was I saying?
What would you like to call it? What do you call it?
I don't know what I call it. Whatever you call it. Butterfly bush?
Butterfly bush.
Butterfly bush. Hemilia. That's what you usually call it. Hemilia. And so when do you use that? You use it a lot.
Yeah, but you better give it enough space because they get between 6 and 8 feet tall. Ooh. And they do freeze back, but they come back with a vengeance. They've got a great root system. And if you've ever tried to dig an old one out that's out of place, maybe a weed. Not really a weed, but if it's out of place, it's a weed.
Yeah, that's right.
You're going to be digging for a while. They get down and they stabilize themselves pretty good underground.
So butterflies and hummingbirds like that.
Yeah, they like the long tubular orange flower.
And that's a Texas superstar plant.
Absolutely. But plant it and give it room. I think most people try to crowd their gardens with too many plants. It looks cute in the garden center, but you've got to read the label.
Right. How far you need to space
the spacing. They don't put the labels on the plants, folks.
Other landscapers need to read the label too, but that's another program.
Right. They give it space, and usually in the back portion of a landscape bed as a backdrop will do best for you.
Yeah, let me see what it is. Butterfly eggs, aphids, yes. I think, Kathy, the consensus is, I mean, you could do either, I think is what Todd was saying, but I think what we would like for you to just let them stay. I think they're good.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be fine. So that was 2 pieces of advice.
If it wasn't a host plant for the monarch, then safer away, but
yeah, leave it alone.
just leave it alone.
Yes, love the firebush. It's got a bunch of names, but it's a great plant, and Todd likes it too. Oh, beagle alert. Can you hear her in the background? She's barking. Normally she doesn't do that while we're on our live, but there she is.
Well, Zoe went outside.
She doesn't do much, but she
mail.
will bark, and she loves treats. If any of y'all have a beagle, the only thing that wakes that dog up is food. She's old now too, and so literally you don't get anything from her unless it's food related.
Mm-hmm.
If you put a treat in your pocket, she will run after you everywhere. Any of y'all have a beagle? You can comment if you do. I will go over and we will show you. We need to get her quiet. Okay, I'm going to show you the makeover from last week. Oh, sorry. Someone's very excited.
We're live.
Anyway, I'm going to show you the makeover from last week. This is great wood, right?
Yes.
Okay, this is a beautiful one. I really loved the look of this. Here it comes, guys. And we're back. I love that one. It's beautiful. And I like the house. I like the porch and the woman and the rocking chairs. But I love what you did. You want to talk a little about it?
Yeah, so I was presented with the leftover freeze damage landscape.
Still freeze damage problems, yeah.
The homeowner had not done anything about, so he reached out to us, Garden Guy. Sugarland's #1 landscaper.
Oh my goodness, they know who you are.
Anyway, he said, what can you do for my yard? And he and his wife work a lot, and they just want the great curb appeal that they've seen in our photos and the research that they did on us. And so I came up with this plan. I sent it over to him, and before he even really finished reading it in his email, he had a deposit down and wanted a date.
Yeah, he's a great client.
So superstar client. Just, he got home that night from work, said, this looks great. We couldn't be any happier.
It's a great client. So obviously there's all kinds of people in the world. And last week we kind of wham about a lady who, whew, Lord, she tore us up. Anyway, the majority of the clients that we have do not do that. And thankfully, Todd really does try to make everybody happy and do what they want. But some folks are just never pleased, unfortunately, and kind of angry. And it's sad. It's sad for the person. And it's sad too, because his work is always beautiful. And it saddens me when I have pictures and videos of it. And I'm like, how can they be unhappy? But anyway, back to this landscape of the guy in great wood. I mean, great people. They love the look, no trouble. And they're on with their life, enjoying what they have, which is what we all need to do. We can always pick apart anything.
Yeah.
Exactly. You need to get what you pay for. Don't get me wrong. But I was listening to something and I thought this was so great. If any of y'all fly planes, then you would know this a lot better than I do. And it's something called the attitude of the plane. So if y'all have the pilot's license, you know what I'm talking about. I don't actually know. I just listened to this little blurb. So do you know about this?
No. So enlighten me.
The attitude, let me see if I can get this right. The attitude of the plane determines where the plane goes.
Okay.
So the horizon is its like
horizontal plane.
Yeah, that's kind of what it's shooting for. This is like normal, right?
Yeah.
So if the attitude of the plane is down, the plane goes down. If the attitude of the plane is a little bit up, the plane goes up. Hey, this is easy to pull over into our everyday attitudes or the way we see things, or right?
Correct.
We can get up, me too, him, any of us. Nobody is perfect. And I know some people are born with a more positive attitude. I know that. They're happier, like, oh, what a beautiful morning every day. They're just like that. That's this guy. Me, and I'm more like, I'm different. But everybody's made different, and you want that in a marriage. I'm more cynical, more analytical. Anyway, so thank God we're not both exactly the same.
Her attitude looks like a blood pressure machine.
Thank you. But y'all understand what I'm talking about attitude. I thought it was a good talk. I mean, we are in charge of our attitude, and at least I try to improve myself.
You do.
I do. I really do try. So some of us are just more cynical or more analytical or more suspicious. And some of us are super trusting and like Labrador Retriever, which is what I call top.
Hey, we had a client this week. He works overseas. He's in town for 2 or 3 weeks at a time. He hired us to do his front and backyard, and he's going to be over in...
He's English or something.
Yeah, he's English, but he works in Saudi Arabia.
Hey, I didn't finish my attitude
Oh, I'm
thing.
sorry.
Let me complete
Now
that.
you're pulling an attitude on me.
I know, right? No, but I just want to give that to y'all. I thought it was a great talk, that going back to the airplane thing, that if your attitude in the plane is up, then the plane goes up. The attitude of the plane is down, then the plane goes down. So we always want to, obviously every day we have to work on this, or maybe for me every 10 minutes, whatever. Depends on your personality. But you just want to always be checking the attitude of your plane and try to keep it just a little bit up. Because you know what? It makes it better for everybody. Because we're touching every person at the grocery store, every person when we're driving. You know, let the person over when they have their signal on, or keep your distance from big trucks and trailers, well, for your own benefit. Whatever it is, y'all get it. Y'all are great people watching. That's just my little, I don't know,
I like it.
Positivity thing about attitude and airplanes. So now you can talk about the guy with, and you know, some people are very trusting and trustworthy, and that can be a good thing. That's your segue there.
Yeah. So I met with him last week. I gave him a proposal for the front and backyard. He called the right day. We got him right in and just had an opening come available. And he said, "This is my story. I'm sticking to it." I said, "We're booked out 8 weeks." He goes, "That's fine. Just get me a date. When can you start? And I'll send you a deposit. And when you're finished, my daughter will bring you the check."
Yeah, so he's trusting Todd to do it, and he won't be in town, is what Todd's saying.
So I probably won't see him again other than our first meeting, but he trusted Garden Guy enough that he'd read enough about us that this is a company that I can trust to do my yard, and I'm not here.
Yeah, it's a great guy.
So that's a good feeling for me as the owner, because I meet with everybody. There is nobody else. So that's the trust that I try to step off, I guess, the first step with. Kind of the best analogy with the client, that I earn their trust, and then based on that, we can move forward with, you know, the details of the job and what date it might be and so forth and so on. But honestly, if I have contractors coming over to give me a proposal and I don't trust them, just a gut feeling, I'm not going to hire them, folks.
Right. You
just
got to go with your gut. Got to go with your gut. So anyway, well, that is really all I have for tonight. And then I had my announcement that we're going to do this again on May. I'm trying to see my sign. May the 16th. So a little time off just to gather everything and make sure I have tons of material. It'll give me time to get more material together for y'all to maybe jam pack the show a little bit more. But this is really about you guys. And when more of you show up, then we have more questions to answer, which is fun for us. But we're always available, of course, via text, or the only thing we don't do is Twitter. So I'm out there, man. I always keep us current on all social media. So you can DM us, you can text us, you can email us, you can call us on the real phone. Well, it's not a real phone anymore. It's just this phone. It's an old phone. Anyway, y'all understand. That's it, right?
Thank you for joining us this week, and we will see you in 2.
Yeah, we'll see you in 2, May the 16th. And it's going to be, Mother's Day just before that. So call your mom. Good night, everyone.
Good night.